What's up, friends? I'm about to share the exact 16-step blueprint that took me from being a very burnt out yoga studio owner who lost everything to the pandemic, by the way, to building a multiple six-figure coaching business from my cottage on the island that we live on in really like the middle of nowhere. And this is the same system that I've used to help over 500 coaches build their own 6- and 7-figure businesses. What I'm going to teach you today, 99% of coaches are screwing up right now. Most coaches get this completely backwards. Most coaches are trying to scale their business or diversify their offers before they have systems. This is a huge mistake. They create courses before they've even proven that their method works with one-to-one clients. They focus on being everywhere instead of being masterful somewhere. So listen up here, because this is exactly why 99% of coaches never break 6 figures, let alone consistent 5, 10K months. The coaches that follow this blueprint, they're not just making money, they're building online empires. This isn't like a hobby for them. They're creating movements, they're creating recognizable brands, and they're living completely sovereign lives while being able to serve other people well. They're getting incredible results for their clients, which really is the most important part of your whole business. But I need to warn you about something. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get-rich-right system that requires a ton of focus, hard work, discipline, and the willingness to do things differently than everyone else. Also, this is not what all the Instagram coaches are telling people to do. Oh, just show up as yourself, make content, millions of dollars, blah, 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 blah. All of that's a lie. Drop a 1 in the chat here if you are making under $100,000 in your coaching business right now, and a 2 if you're over $100,000, but you want to scale to 6, 7 figures. I want to see where everyone's at, because this blueprint can work at every level, but there's something to do at each stage. First, we're going to look at the foundation of your business. So let's dive into the first 4 steps that create the foundation of your 6, 7-figure coaching business. And guys, most people want to skip this part because it's not sexy, it's not fun. Don't. This is where empires are built. You want to get clear first on your unique zone of genius. It does not matter what everyone else is doing. You have to teach what you know. You have to teach what you have results in. There might be something that you want to create that you're super passionate about, but you don't have results in yet. We have to start with an offer that's unique to you. You need to get crystal clear on your strengths, on your skills, on your expertise, on your proof, not what you think you should be good at or what other people are doing. We have to look at what you're actually gifted at. You can use like the Japanese ikigai to do this. It's like that nice little intersection of what do you love, what are you good at, what can you be paid for. You have to get clear on this. Here's what I believe. Your life has been intelligently designed. You have a unique DNA set of cells. You have a unique God-given purpose, and you're meant to bring that thing to life. Every job that you have had up until this point, every challenge that you've overcome, every skill that you've developed, it's all been preparing you for this moment. For me, I have faced depression, addiction. I've built multiple businesses. I've overcome massive challenges. I was naturally good at taking on really complex concepts and breaking them down. I'm amazing at strategy, at creating. I have a really strong voice, and I'm super passionate about freedom and helping people build businesses that don't enslave them, that feel like them, that are authentic to them, and bonus, make money. That intersection became my zone of genius, helping freedom-obsessed entrepreneurs build sovereign businesses. So again, I want you to think about, what are you good at? What do you love? What do you have results in? I mean, it's okay if it's just your own personal results. That's fine. We want to take that process and then work with clients and see if you can also get them those results. And then as you build, then you can add on more and more things, more and more offers, but you really want to be in alignment with what you're teaching. You want to be in integrity with what you do. So for example, you don't want to teach people how to build 8-figure businesses if you yourself don't have an 8-figure business. Really simple, right? You don't want to teach people how to lose 100 pounds if you haven't lost 100 pounds or you haven't helped clients lose that amount of weight. So just tell the truth, be in alignment with what you can actually do. And then it'll be easier to market and grow your business. Step number 2, commit to mastery. You have to decide, this is my zone and I'm going to be the best. Like, claim that. Be the authority in your space. This is crucial. Like, you need to allocate 20% of your time to developing mastery. Most coaches stop learning once they've started their business, and that's why they plateau. Personally, I'm always studying. I'm studying neuroscience, behavioral psychology, business strategy, marketing. I go to events, I hire coaches, I invest in my own growth, I join masterminds, I go to retreats, because you can't give what you don't have. And in my niche, in my world, everything is always changing. So I always want to be at the top. I want these strategies to be fresh and top of mind so that then I can give this back to my clients. The coaches that are making 6 figures plus, they're obsessed with getting better at their craft. Not just better at marketing, not just better at getting more clients, getting better at what they do. Step 3, identify your ideal client avatar. Now, a lot of you have chosen the wrong client avatar. There's a few ways to look at this. One, it's too generic. You've chosen a whole group of people when you don't market to a whole group of people. You actually speak to one person. Canadian Tire, for example, they speak to Bob. The avatar of Bob, he's like 55, he wears flannel, he like tucks his flannel shirt into his jeans, he likes barbecuing and fishing and camping and all the things that Canadian Tire has to offer. Now, who buys things at Canadian Tire? Little old ladies, moms grabbing like hockey gear for their kids, some hippies looking for some gardening stuff, like all kinds of people. But the ideal client for Canadian Tire is only Bob. I need you to think about that for your own business as well. So when it comes to high ticket sales in particular, your ideal client is the person who can pay you. First of all, we can't speak to people that can't pay us, but they're also the person that is going to get the best results from your service. Now, I work with a lot of heart-led entrepreneurs, a lot of people that really, really care about other human beings, and that's amazing. The problem with that level of empathy sometimes is that we want to help people with the biggest problems, and sometimes the people with the biggest problems, the people that are really stuck in the mud, they're not actually willing to change. They're not actually willing to pay you. They're not actually willing to do anything about it. Sometimes that ideal client needs a little bit of an upgrade, right? Who's the person that doesn't need to be convinced? They don't need to be convinced that, hey, you can move your body if you're a fitness coach, or if you're a business coach, like, hey, you can start a business. No, that's like too low. You want to talk to the people that already know this is what they want. They're already in motion. This is your ideal client. I serve freedom-obsessed entrepreneurs, A-type individuals, online professionals, because that's what I am. I'm a freedom-obsessed entrepreneur. I understand their challenges because I've lived them. You don't need to convince me that it's hard to create an Instagram post. You don't need to convince me that I probably should make money because it'll help me get my power back. I already know that. And those are the people that I speak to. They're already hardworking. They're already disciplined. They already create daily content. They already have an offer that helps people. I used to try and convince. I used to try and say, you can do it. You could start a business. And I realized that's just really not a great ideal client to service. My hopes is when I market and when I use this language, I will get that person to the point where they can work with me. But instead, I talk to the people that are already in motion. You want to be really specific with your ideal client avatar. So my client Sarah, she helps divorced women rebuild their confidence because she went through a devastating divorce. My client Marcus helps men over 40 build muscle because he transformed his own body at 45. What you might be hearing is when you serve a past version of yourself, your messaging becomes authentic, your content writes itself, you have really epic content because you're just storytelling, and your sales, like these conversations, they're just going to flow naturally. And you don't have to be the expert. It's okay if there's other people out there doing things better than you, but you just need to be 10% better or 10% ahead of someone to be 100% in service to them. Never forget that. Number 4, you have to dial in your core 4 foundations. So these are your core 4 business foundations. Number 1 is your messaging. When we talk about branding, it's not your color palette and your fonts. It's what do you do? Who do you help? How do you articulate that with your messaging? Can you explain what you do in one sentence? You have to be clear. And a lot of us are trying to peddle multiple offers. We're trying to talk about all kinds of things in our content. Guys, people will never find you. They'll have no idea what you're doing. You have to get more singular with your messaging, especially in the beginning. Then we're going to work on who really is your ideal client. The who is so important. So who exactly do you serve? Who's your Bob? Who's your single, solitary, ideal client avatar? Number 3, your offer. How is it structured? How is it priced? Did you create it with that ideal client in mind? So a lot of people will ask me things like, what should I price it at? How many modules should be in there? How long should it be? My answer is always, well, what do you need in order to get that person the best results possible? Right? It's not a number that you just throw out into the ether. Like maybe your offer is more expensive because you need to include certain tech or apps. Maybe there's additional coaches in your program so that that person can get really good results. Say you have a weight loss program. You can't run a weight loss program in 2 weeks, right? They're going to need time. They're going to need 3, 6, 12 months with you because weight loss is a long journey. Same with business. You're going to need more time. It depends on what you're offering, right? So you need to structure the offer in a way that's going to generate the best results for your ideal client. And then, of course, the messaging. How do you then define? How do you then speak to that offer? Who is it that you help and how do you help them? And what's your process and what's your roadmap? What are those A to Z steps that you are going to take them through to go from where they're at to the results that they actually want? I'm going to throw this in here too. The results that they actually want are tangible. Tangible, tangible, tangible. Do you know what's not tangible? Feeling better, being your best self, shedding limiting beliefs, empowering yourself. Coaches use this language all the time. No one has any idea what you're talking about. You can perhaps weave that in to like a sales page. That might be a result, but those are not things that people are wishing for on their birthday, right? When they go to blow out that birthday cake, they're not saying, I wish I was my most empowered self yet. Nobody's wishing that. What are they wishing for? I wish I could break these bad habits. I wish I could get up at 6 a.m. when the alarm goes off and I tell myself that I'm actually going to get out of bed. I wish I could drop that 3rd cup of coffee. I wish I could lose 10 pounds. I wish my business could make more money without me working 60 hours a week. They're very specific things. So you can teach mindset, you can teach energy, you can teach all of these things, but if you're not speaking to a tangible result, you're going to have a very, very hard time growing a profitable business, unless you're like, I don't know, Tony Robbins. Okay, next we're going to look at enrollment. What's your sales process? Do you have conversational skills? Everybody wants to just like make an Instagram post and think they're going to be a millionaire, but it doesn't work that way. Your content attracts and nurtures, but then you have to do some work here. You have to actually talk to those people. And sometimes you're going to have to be proactive about that. Conversations in the DMs, conversations on discovery calls. This is a skill that you must master as a business owner. no matter what your business is. We got to learn how to talk to people again. Is it nice when you do an Instagram post and cha-ching, it leads to sales? That's amazing when that happens, but it doesn't usually. Despite an ad or ManyChat or your VSL or any of this stuff, you still got to learn how to talk about what you do. You have to have sales skills. You have to understand human psychology, especially if you're selling high ticket. The key is you have to understand people. You have to understand the framework of sales. You have to understand also that sales is service. There's nothing icky about sales as long as you're in integrity with your offer. If you're lying about your offer, then maybe feel icky about sales. But if you know you have a good offer that's going to help people, there's zero reason to feel ick around sales. You have to dial in a framework for sales. Okay. And once you have a framework, we help our clients with this. We actually write unique scripts for every single client. Then you'll understand the process. Really, a good sales call, it's coaching, asking people about what they want, asking them what's in their way of that, asking how long they've been struggling with that, asking what life looks like once their problem is solved. Honestly, it's coaching. The best way to get good at sales is to do sales. And I know a lot of you want to jump to hiring a sales team. You got to learn the skill yourself first because you're going to have to manage your salespeople as well. Most coaches spend months trying to perfect their messaging, flip-flopping their brand, their content, their bio. Meanwhile, successful coaches get it right. They make a choice. This is my lane. I'm going to focus on it. And then they get into action. They start serving people. Clarity comes from action, not thinking. There's so many people out there waiting for this perfect answer, this perfect download before they take action. No, your confidence, that good feeling is going to happen once you're actually in the work, consistently, pushing through, doing the thing. So stop waiting for the clouds to open up and that perfect answer to drop in. It's not coming. You will get confidence by taking action, even though you're scared. And the more people that you work with, the more confidence you're going to get. Confidence is magnetic, but you'll get that confidence by taking action, right? When you're clear, you feel confident. And the reason why a lot of people don't feel clear is because they're just doing too many things. They keep changing their offer. They keep changing their mind. They keep changing their platform. They keep flip-flopping on their messaging. No wonder they're confused. And if you're confused, you're never going to feel confident. Your perfect answer is not coming, right? You should think about what is your zone of genius. You do want to be thoughtful during this process, but your offer is never going to be perfect. Eventually, you're just going to have to decide to pick a lane and decide to go all in, taking massive action every single day. Through that action, I promise you, you will get more confident. When you're clear on your zone of genius, clear on who you serve, clear on your offer, you're going to show up differently, I promise you. And then people are going to be able to feel that, and they will want to work with someone who is certain about your ability to help. Most people can't even say, this is what I do and this is who I help. That's not confidence, and that's not going to equal sales. If you're unclear, if you're still figuring it out, that uncertainty repels people. It repels people. So get clear first, then work towards getting clients. Okay, the proof phase. So this is where you prove that your method works. This is where you're going to build your case studies and you're going to create the foundation for everything that comes next. That only comes with working with people. I love offering a beta launch when I have a new program. It's something that I encourage all of my clients to do. Find your first 5. If that means massively discounting your program or doing cold DMs or cold outreach, do it. Whatever you need to get those first 5, because you need proof. You know, Alex Hormozy will recommend doing this for free. You can try that. The problem with free is people don't take you seriously. They don't do the work. People who pay attention. So you could try it free, but a lot of the time it doesn't work. I'm not saying it's not possible, but my experience, not so good. I prefer just dropping the price of the offer, letting them know what the full price is, and just working on the concept of scarcity. Hey, I only have 5 spots available at this price. Are you interested? This is the roadmap I'm going to take you through. This is how I think I can help you. You need to learn how to master this one-to-one enrollment. You know, everyone wants an online course or a group program. I think you should start off with getting booked out with one-to-one clients. Not group programs, not courses, not masterminds, one-on-one. Once you have proven your method with one-to-ones, once you're full with one-to-ones, then we can talk about scaling using group programs and online courses. Why? Because you need to understand your client's journey intimately. You need to see where they're getting stuck. What breakthroughs do they have, and what language do they use to describe each step of that roadmap? You're only going to get that with intimate work. You'll have no idea what people are doing with your online course. And group programs are amazing, again, once you know the process. When I started, I worked with entrepreneurs one-to-one for months before I ever created a group program. That's how I discovered that their biggest challenge wasn't strategy, it was mindset in the beginning. That insight became the foundation for everything that I do. I can give people the best strategy in the world. If they don't see themselves as capable, it's never going to happen. They're not going to put that strategy into action. Plus, one-to-one is the highest value that you can provide. And we live in this weird AI world right now. If you're just giving good information, we don't really need information anymore. We need support. We need accountability. We need to talk things through with a real human being who's been where we want to go. That's valuable right now. You can charge premium prices and get incredible results for your clients when you work with them intimately. Step number 6, you want to build your signature presentation around that core product. This is what I call the killer app strategy for coaches. A presentation allows you to share your story, demonstrate your expertise, and position your offer, all while providing massive value to your audience. I like to do this through a VSL, video sales letter, because there are so many ways that you can use this VSL. You can use it in your sales process. You can run ads to it. You can position it as a free training in a free community. You can use it to prep people for your discovery calls. It is so helpful to make one of these. My presentation structure, well, just like any piece of content, and we'll call this content, you need a hook. You have to grab attention with a bold statement or story. Number 2, we want to show that you are the person to deliver this material. So right away, here's why I am qualified to serve this value. Here are my results. Here is what I have personally achieved. Here's what my clients have achieved. So now they're going to listen to you. Number 3, then we're going to go to the problem. You're going to call out the challenge that your ideal client is facing right now. You want them to hear that you understand that I get where you're at right now. I understand why you're stuck. I understand what you've tried and how long you've tried it. You want to identify this challenge and be able to speak to this really clearly. So now we have almost like another emotional hook. Oh, they get me. They see me. And if you have proof of yourself being in that same position, bonus, slap up a photo in that, show where you were at. This is really important. Show the low. Then you're going to talk about the solution. Here's how I got out of that. And this is where you're going to serve a ton of value. So this video is not just you pitching, it's you're actually giving value, explaining your process and your unique methodology. Explain your roadmap. You can give away a lot of value. You don't have to give away everything, but it is safe to give away a lot of value. You don't have to gatekeep everything. Like I said, guys, everything that you teach now is probably already on the internet for free. With AI or YouTube and all the things, do not be afraid of giving real serious value. People will pay you to go deeper. They want to know that you know. They want to see some behind the scenes. They want to know that you actually have a process. So present your unique method. You can use visuals, you can tell the story, you can show the roadmap, give value. If you have any proof at all, show it. Testimonials, screenshots, before and after. This is really important just to drive home that trust factor. People are less trustful. Is that a word? Trustful? People are less trusting than ever before. There's lots of people on the market. There are grifters. Be in integrity with your offer, tell the truth, show whatever testimonials that you have. If you are just getting started, you're going to show your own personal transformation story. You can also use stats in your industry. Only talk about what's true, never lie in this kind of material. And then you'll do a little pitch at the end, invite them onto a call with you, invite them to dig in deeper. You could also invite them into a free community if you have something like that, but ideally invite them on a call. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your unique problem and see if I can help. If you can master this one presentation and you know where to put this, right? If you know how to use it in your sales process, you're never going to struggle to find one-to-one clients ever again. Number 7, speaking opportunities. The reason why I have so many followers, why I have a big brand, is because I have collaborated a lot. I have spoken on lots of stages. I kind of built my own stage because I have a podcast, but I've also spoken on other people's podcasts a ton. I've spoken at huge events. My first speaking opportunity was at a local business networking group. 15 people came in the room. I gave my presentation and 5 people booked calls with me. So 3 became clients out of those original 5. That means that one presentation was a $15,000 presentation, right? So it doesn't even matter if you get paid, right? If you can get paid for speaking as well, bonus. But if you are good at explaining your process and giving value face to face with people, especially in 2025, so good, you guys. But here's the key. You got to be patient. Like, you're not just looking for immediate sales. You're building your reputation. You're building your brand. You're getting testimonials. You're perfecting your message. You know, I've had clients come to me 5 years later who heard me on someone else's podcasts. Or I actually just got a message today, someone that saw me at a Kid Carson event and met me there, wanting to work with me now. Sometimes these things are a little slower, but they come around. So we want to keep that in mind. It's not always instantaneous. So, you know, it's safe to invest in speaking opportunities. Don't just wait for people to ask you. Ask them. Ask to speak in other people's spaces. Ask to speak on stages. It's scary. I'm still scared when I go and do that, but I know how valuable it is. Once you see the power of doing speaking events, of running presentations, you're going to want to do this more. So yeah, you can get paid to speak, but honestly, what it's going to do for you as an authority, as a brand, is so worth it. You will get clients from this opportunity. You'll also get a lot of confidence from doing something that's pretty darn scary. I once paid $5,000 to speak at an event. Now, I didn't pay the event, but that's what it cost me to get there, to put myself up, to pay for materials that I wanted to have at the event. So it cost me money to go and speak at this event, which at the time in my business, that felt like a lot of money. But I enrolled 8 clients from that one presentation. That's $40,000 in revenue from a $5,000 investment. So many solopreneurs, so many coaches are so scared to part with money, but the math is mathing when you look at that. If you can enroll even 2 to 3 clients from a speaking opportunity and you sell a high ticket, it pays for itself. Now, when you are presenting, you're not trying to teach every single thing that you know, right? You have to focus on a key point. You're trying to create a transformation in the room. They don't want to hear your whole life story. They don't want you to prove that you're smart and here's all the things that I know. Give them one big insight, one breakthrough, one aha moment that changes how they think about their problem. Then you can invite them to go deeper with you. That's a big mistake that people make when speaking. They're like, well, I'm just going to tell all the stories and look at how smart I am. Look at all the books that I've read. People don't care. They don't. Tell one story really, really well. And then tell stories and do activities and pull the audience in so that you really drive that one point home. That actually shows that you know your stuff more than trying to just spout off information and all the different things that you know. And at the end of every single presentation, You're going to pitch. If anyone wants to go deeper into this and explore working together, let me know. We'll schedule a free roadmap session to see if we're a good fit. I like to have like a QR code or something really easy too. If someone comes up to shake my hand, they can just scan it, goes right to my website, super easy to set up. That's a no-brainer as well. Simple, not pushy, and really, really effective. Okay, you move on to the scale phase once you're full with one-to-one clients. When you fine-tuned your process, you're getting really busy with one-to-one clients, then you scale. This is where your business transforms from a job into a real company where you are now the CEO. But timing, it's everything here. This is when you can start thinking about launching group coaching programs. When you're too busy with one-to-ones, you want to do this again when you're busy. You have the proof. You've been working with people. You understand your process inside and out. You can do it blindfolded. This is crucial. You don't want to scale and move to group just because you think you should. You want to scale because you have to, because there's no more time left. When you have a waiting list of people who want to work with you, when you're turning away clients because you don't have capacity, that's when you create a group program. My client Jessica, she was booked solid with one-to-one clients at $3,000 each. She had a 3-month waiting list. She thought about like, I could just wake up earlier, stay up later, but like she was a mom. We knew that she didn't want to be working that many hours. So that's when we created her group program at $2,000 per person with 10 people per cohort. So we capped it still so that she could deliver really good results to her client. It was still intimate. Same revenue, less time commitment, and eventually she actually moved away from one-to-ones altogether. So a group program is the option. You could also look at doing a signature course. If you are doing an online course in 2025, remember that it cannot just be information. It has to be infused with an experience, with your personality, with your personal storytelling, and a ton of BTS, a lot of behind the scenes, your process. Just information, it's going to fall flat. So the progression is one-to-one clients to group programs to an online evergreen course. Each step builds on the last. And by the time that you create your online course, you've already delivered your content dozens of times. You know exactly what works, exactly what doesn't, where people get stuck, and all the questions that they ask. Your course can't just be a theoretical idea that you're testing on people for the first time. It has to be battle tested in real life. Now, when you continue to go and speak, you're on podcasts, maybe you're out at different networking events, maybe you're on a literal stage. Now you can start selling your course from the stage instead of individual coaching. And this is where the magic happens. Instead of booking 40 sales calls after a presentation, you sell your course directly and make $20,000 to $50,000 from one presentation. I spoke at an event last year and sold 47 copies of my course that was valued at $997. That's $47,000 from a 60-minute presentation. Plus, everyone who bought the course got a free consultation, so I was having better conversations with pre-qualified prospects. Now that you have something truly scalable, now we can just really focus on the content and the brand. Now we just need more and more attention. This is the fun part. So your organic content is important at every single stage. But when the foundation of your business is built, you have this proven method, really it's just leaning into content. And now you can start thinking about putting that organic content in more places instead of just one platform. You can focus on building like a small online funnel that will capture leads and nurture prospects. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Like a lot of people hear funnel. I know I used to hear this word and just think of like complicated tech stacks. All a funnel means is you got like a lead magnet, maybe a low ticket offer gets people on your email list. You can automate that stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be fancy. A lead magnet, honestly, it can be like a Google Doc. It doesn't have to be some 97-page perfected Canva PDF. It really doesn't have to look like that. A funnel is lead magnet, to an email sequence, to a course offer or group program, to a consultation booking. That's it. Don't overcomplicate this. It's attention, nurturing, sales. right? That's a funnel. The goal is to capture people who aren't ready to buy yet and to nurture them with more content until they are ready to buy from you. Your funnel should be built around organic content. Paid ads are great and we can use them to leverage, but organic before paid, always. We want to know what works first. You have to embrace a mindset when you're moving into the scale phase of your business. You need to stop trading time for money. Everybody understands that, but you won't be able to do that until you build systems. Understanding your program inside and out and having proof is kind of the first system. And this is what takes the longest amount of time to fine tune. The other stuff is like the automations, moving to a different business model. Those things are a little easier to set up. Your one-to-one clients become the case studies for your group program. Your group program becomes the content for your online course, and your course becomes a foundation for your high ticket offers. Everything builds on everything else. That's how you can create $1 million business one day without working 1,000,000 hours. The empire phase. So this is where you're building a cult-like brand. This is where you really become a leader. You're starting a movement. This goes way beyond just an online course. You're starting to show up in more places, more stages. You're really starting to become like the go-to person in your niche. You're probably going to need a team at this point. So who are those people that you should be adding on? You want to add your team members really strategically, not because you can, but because you absolutely have to. There's no way that you can extend to all these different places without them. Your first hire in your business is probably going to be a virtual assistant. You want them for your emails, for your administrative tasks, for simple things like building opt-ins and lead magnets and all that kind of thing. The second hire might be a content editor or social media manager, because your organic content is how you get visible, how you get clients. The third hire is a setter, someone that can help you get more discovery calls booked. This is someone that lives in your inbox or lives in your DMs, and they just start sorting through all the people, all the messages to figure out who has a problem that you can solve. Let's see if we can get them booked on a call. In the beginning of your business, you'll be taking all those discovery calls yourself. Eventually, this is something that you can outsource to a sales closer. They can actually take your calls, but in the beginning, it's you. It is nice when you can hire someone that's masterful at sales, but in the beginning, it's you. And also, it's a skill that you should learn. Oh, there's one more hire. When you move to group and you're selling a high-ticket group program, sometimes it's wise to consider adding additional coaches. It's more added value to the program, and also it allows you to step outside and not have to be the one delivering all the coaching all the time. So that's something that you might want to consider too. But each hire should free you up to focus on higher level activities, meaning strategy, content creation, and business development. You want to get out of those million little to-dos that happen every single day. You can scale from here by creating signature events. So this is really fun for me in 2025, running an online business for as long as I have. Let's get back in person, please. So remember I said building the stage is important. Well, build your own dang stage, right? Get on stages. You can be on other people's stages. What if you're the one that built them? This is where real money is made. Events allow you to serve your community at the highest level, create incredible experiences and transformations for the people that come. It allows you to collaborate with other high-level individuals who also want to be on stages. It helps you launch high-ticket offers to a very captive and engaged audience. And of course, it helps you build deeper relationships with the people that show up. There is really a lot of magic to in-person. It's magic. It's magic. I've spoken on a lot of stages. It's a lot of fun, and you definitely go deeper with people than you do in the online space. I have never run an event myself. I will in the future. I've spoken at a lot of other people's events, and I've generated massive revenue from that. Other than my podcast, I guess you can say that my podcast is in and of itself a stage. And I've got to speak with incredible people because of it. Got to work with, Tucker Carlson and Dr. Peter McCullough and Zuby and all these really amazing creators. That's all because of the podcast, which is a stage in and of itself and really honestly doesn't cost me very much at all to run. Will I run an event in the future? Yes, 100%. You can keep scaling your offers. You can keep making them more expensive. That's another way that you can scale, as long as you stay in integrity with the work that you're doing. At this level, you're not just teaching anymore, you're transforming. You're working with people for long periods of time, 3, 6, 12 months. You're providing done with you implementation, not just serving up information. My programs, I have one program, 2 tiers. It's a 6-month program, and I work with people group or one-to-one. We work on their brand, their content systems, their mindset, their sales strategy. It's a comprehensive transformation. There's a lot of done with you services, some done for you services, not just coaching, not just information. When you reach this level of your business, you're no longer building businesses, you're building a legacy. You're really truly becoming known for something, and you're creating a huge ripple effect. You're creating a movement around your message. You're creating a cult-like brand. You're developing other coaches and leaders. You're hiring other people, giving them work and opportunity. You're building stages. You're impacting thousands of people through your work. And this is where true freedom lives. This is where your business serves your life, not the other way around. Now, let me share what makes this blueprint a little different. You might have heard some other things from other people about building an online coaching business. Most coaches build their businesses around a framework that just has them working all the time. It has them super stressed out, spread too thin, showing up in a million places, and it has them trying to do everything all at once. What I hope you're hearing from today's workshop is there's a roadmap working piece by piece and building on as you get more resources and more capacity and more proof. So this other way where people are trying to be on all the Instagram platforms, they're trying to run multiple offers, they're trying to do everything themselves, they're stressed, they're burnt out, and they're so stressed for money, right? That they're just worried about their marketing and not delivering really good client results. We build for freedom first. You want a lifestyle business, and your business will grow when you get good client results. If you're only focused on the money and your own visibility, your business will fail and you'll get super burnt out in the process. Every single decision that you make should pass the freedom test. Does this give me more freedom or less? Does this give my clients better results or less? Does this align with my values or does it compromise them? Does this serve my life or does it enslave me to this business? Most coaches, they think tactically. I like to think systematically. Every system in your business should be designed to give you more freedom, not less. Your onboarding should be automated, your client delivery should be systematized, and your content should work while you sleep. Finally, we don't just build businesses. You want to focus on building a movement. This is something to get excited about. This is something that will keep you moving forward when the work gets hard or boring. If this was all just about money, it gets kind of boring, right? It feels very self-serving. So really always keep in mind, how can I help other people? How can this go beyond just this tiny little pocket of work that I'm doing? How can you really create change? Your coaching business and your brand should stand for something way bigger than just money. Guys, this was a long one. I didn't mean to go 50 minutes. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I hope this was helpful. I drop a new video here every single Wednesday. If you like what we do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button or giving us a 5-star review. And if you go to the comment section, you'll find a link not only to our free community where you can work with us in depth and start using some of the systems that we use in our business. You'll also find a link to book a roadmap call if you'd like to see what it's like to work with me and my team. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you next time.